Yo, this your boy EC22 of the FairWeather Fan channel, man. We're in for another podcast. This is week 9 recap of what we saw last week of the NFL season. Before I go any further, man, like, subscribe, share, leave comments, man. That will help this channel grow. And please join the conversation. I got once again my boy Max, your favorite Philly fan. What's going on? Oh, there he go with his little 8-1. That's what he want to put on as his tagline or his name, 8-1, because they're the number one team in NFL. And what'd you expect out of a Philly fan? What's up, Max?
Still gloating over that victory, man.
Still gloating over the win against the Cowboys, y'all. For those of you who are watching this podcast or in right now rebroadcast, we actually had a pregame, a halftime, and a after the postgame show for
Special.
special, especially for the Cowboys and Eagles game, and it was pretty interesting, man, about that. Max, let's go ahead and jump into it, man. High school football guys are getting ready to start the high school playoffs. Excuse me. Been a long day. I've been playing basketball, y'all, and I am tired. But y'all, high school football, Texas high school fall is getting ready to get kicked off, and man, this is where it gets fun for high school. Trying to follow these games, trying to go to the stadiums and watch these high school kids play. But you know, when all ends well here in Cowboy Stadium or AT&T Stadium here, and I'll try to my best to get to that game, those games when it come down to the final state championship. Duncanville is in it. Next week, actually, I will give an in-depth rundown on who's still in it. They're going to play the first round, I assume, this Friday and Thursday, this weekend, and then next Friday I'll give a real in-depth as far as who's in it and who's still in it at that point. But there's so many teams right now to scour through, man. They have a big playoff bracket. I just don't got the energy to go through it right now. I'm so sorry, y'all. But anyway, man, but I do know Duncanville in it. Obviously, there was number one in the nation for 6A, so they're in it, and I believe DeSoto is in it as well. I'm not quite sure if South Cliff, the defending champs for 5A, is in it. I have to check. Let me see real quick. Let me go back to 5A just to see if the defending champs are in it. I don't even know what division it, because they have like 2 divisions, man, for 6A and 5A. So trying to find South Cliff, make sure they're in it. I don't see them in it for the first division. But like I said, I'll do an update. I don't want to prolong this podcast any more than it has to be. But yo, college football, listen, Oklahoma took another loss. And I think that's it for Oklahoma, man. I think that's it. I don't know. I think Texas is up to the Big 12. It's up to Texas to rule the Big 12 going forward, to see can we get a chance for our spot. But right now, with the new BCS standings or AP top 25, they got Texas moved up to number 7. So you got Oregon at 6, Washington 5, Florida went down to 4, Ohio State 3, Georgia regained number 1, and Michigan regained number 2. And Oklahoma dropped all the way down to 17 with no hopes in sight. So I don't know if Big 12 gonna be able to get in it this year, y'all. I'm kind of sad behind that. But I think the tickets may be a little bit cheaper for the Big 12 game, because I don't think Oklahoma going to make that Big 12 game. So I may get a chance to go to that as well, because, man, OU and Texas, y'all already know how they roll with them tickets, man. It's almost like going to a regular old Cowboy game the way they charge for those tickets. But we'll see who Texas maybe get to play, and maybe Oklahoma. I don't know. But, man, in other news, as far as college football, Max, you brought this up in the green room. I want you to go ahead and explain to me what you saw on Saturday with USC losing their game.
I saw USC losing, and slowly the camera rolled around the players, and then it slowly focused on one particular player that went towards his mom and began to cry his heart out. I do not know why he did this, but surely his stock might go down because of this meltdown he had after the game.
I can't, I don't mean the last bowl game, right? Or they said it was out of a bowl game
Yeah,
too.
they should. I think they're out of contention for one.
Wow, that's so hurt. He won a Heisman. I don't know why he was trying to get another one. But man, I think no, I don't know. I don't know. From these are reports that I've heard. And I don't know if they're true or not, but I'm just going to report what I've heard. I heard that with the current team that he wasn't happy up front. And I want to say it was maybe around about the fourth or fifth game. He knew that he wasn't going to play hard just to make sure that he don't injure himself going for the NBA NFL draft. And that was what I've heard. Of course, that could be from that was from the fans. There wasn't anybody coming out of USC or anything like that, which made sense to me. You're not happy with the team. Your spot is pretty much already solidified as being the number one overall draft pick. It didn't make any sense to really try to fight or do anything, especially with your team is doing what it's doing. But can I say it? I want to say it. Can I say it?
You say it.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. We've heard this statement before, but it had to do with a group of women on a baseball diamond. So I'm going to say it for a group of men in the gridiron. There's no crying in football,
sports.
Taylor Williams.
We don't sports, cry. Period.
In sports, period. We don't cry. I mean, guys win championships, guys lose championships. I get that. But crying after a regular season loss, man, that's crazy.
The only time you get to cry in sports is when you win the big one.
Right. When you win the big one or lose the big one, that's a good chance to cry. But crying for a regular season game, you know what? There could have been something going on with his family. It could have been somebody we don't know. But I mean, there's a lot of players and former champions who've kind of lit into him for that. I haven't heard anything about what Caleb Williams' statement is. So why he did what he did, I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen any press game conference. I haven't been watching it that much. But man, that is hilarious. I mean, would you cry if you lost the game that you thought that was going to pretty much seal your ticket? I don't know.
If I would cry, I would make sure it's behind closed doors where no one would find out, not in public.
I mean, it almost felt like the way he walked over to his mom, the way he jumped up there. It's like he know the camera is rolling, right? So it's like I don't understand. You know what I think he was crying for? I'm gonna take a stab at it for all you Oklahoma fans out there. I think he was crying like, you know what? I should have never left Oklahoma. I think that he was telling his mom, "Mama, we should have never left Oklahoma. We should have stayed in the red dirt." But I'm sorry. I don't know, but no, man, I mean, these are young men, he's in his 20s. I assume he's at 19, 20, whatever. And I don't know. Maybe he's I don't know. I mean, I could say so much things that could probably come across as disrespectful, but I'm not, as far as what we would assume, but we don't know. But man, he's going to have to get a little thick shell if he's going to be a leader because he's a quarterback of a team. I expect this out of, and I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I'm going to leave it alone.
I want to see his bounce back game, how he performs the next game, because we know everyone's going to be out there. The opponent probably make fun of him, so we'll see what happens this next game.
Yeah, you're going to have a lot of folks, man, that's going to be talking about it pregame.
It wouldn't surprise me if someone made a shirt of him crying on his mom's shoulder and wears it to this game.
I remember Brandon Marshall, I was watching the podcast he was on yesterday, and he made a comment. He said that I think that was 2015 when he came out and talked about his mental health. And during that time period, mental health wasn't one of those things that they talked about in sports a whole lot. And now, of course, obviously it's everywhere, right? People consider heroes by coming out and saying that they take anxiety medicine or that they're seeing a doctor or a therapist, whatever. But back in those days, it wasn't something that people talked about. And so, he said that he wanted to be honest, he wanted to be transparent, and basically and let the world know what he was dealing with. He said, but it backfired on him because now it's like he can't move or show any type of emotion on the sideline if he missed a play or if things didn't go his way, or so he just couldn't have the normal, the athletic emotion as far as maybe throwing down a helmet or showing visually frustrated because all the cameras on him. Because anything he could have done, whether he cried, whether he got upset, whether he fussed at a teammate, they would have tagged it. Oh, he's off his meds. And it's unfortunate that people think that way, when it comes down to mental health. Now, I don't know if this is a situation with Caleb Williams, that maybe he's dealing with some things on the mental health side. We don't know. I don't like the fact that when people do have meltdown, people always or do something completely strange, that we throw the mental health situation towards them. It could be just people made a bad decision or just had a bad day. And I think Caleb Williams may just had a bad day. I think emotions got the best of him, but he still had to know the camera was rolling. I mean, this dude knows the game. He knows that they're going to watch, and putting that little piece of paper over his head wasn't going to do the thing.
It wasn't going to censor it.
Yeah, it's like a kid hide behind the curtain with their feet showing. You know what I'm saying? When you're playing hide and seek, they really think, or a kid crying in classroom and putting his hands on his face thinking the teacher can't see him. It was like, we see you, Caleb. It's like, what?
I wish they had some audio on that to see if he was crying so hard, or was it just tears coming out? Like, was he just crying out loud? Like, what kind of cry was it?
Hey, look. All I know is I saw his body bouncing, and any man out there know when your body start bouncing. See, that's the ugly man cry. That's the. He was like he was trying to start a car.
It is that I reread a lot of things in life right now.
Yeah, for real. I mean, his whole world came down to that moment, and he just didn't know how to handle that loss to a team that was better. And I can see if he lost it to a team that was. I mean, he lost to a team that was better. So I don't even know, man. This is so confusing to me.
I just hope this doesn't overshadow everything he's accomplished thus far.
It's gonna, you know what? I don't think it will. I don't think it should. Well, I don't think it should. I don't know if it will, but I don't think it should. It's gonna take somebody in the media that's gonna give a perspective that change the narrative, because there's really nothing he can say right now as long as mainstream media is having their own opinion and controlling the narrative behind the why, right? It's going to take just somebody who people respect in the media as being an expert on these things, or somebody they deem as a good wisdom piece or whatever, to turn around and give a different perspective for him, for this to go away. When it comes down to an NFL draft, obviously he's going to have his chance to interview with teams and stuff like that to show them a different side or whatever. And obviously some of the guys may ask those type of questions, and hopefully he can put this behind them. But the world is watching from here on out till the end of the season how he handles pressure. So I don't know. Weird at best. Moving on to NFL, man, I'm going to go ahead and let you take off on this because I know you want to say a whole lot. The NFL. Go ahead and get it on out the system.
Who has the best record in the NFL thus far? Heading into the bye week, the 8-1 Eagles. Who has the second best? Who has the second best record and people think is the second best team in the NFL at the moment? Kansas City. Who do the Eagles play next week after our bye week? Kansas City. We're going to get a small preview to see what could happen if we play each other again in the Super Bowl. There's going to be the top two teams of each conference going at it. But honestly, I don't see Kansas City as the conference team to beat over there. There's another bird out there that I feel is a lot better than this team.
Didn't we call them the Purple Birds?
Yes, we did. Baltimore Ravens.
The Baltimore Ravens are out there, man. Dude, I am looking at these stats right here, man, or these records, and this is very surprising me about this list, and because this list does not show at all exactly what the playoff picture will look like. Philadelphia number 1, Kansas City number 2 with 7-2, along with Baltimore Ravens 7-2. The Detroit Lions are 6-2. Jacksonville Jaguars are 6-2. The Dolphins are 6-3, 49ers are 5-3, Pittsburgh 5-3, Seattle Seahawks are 5-3, Cleveland Browns 5-3, Dallas Cowboys 5-3, and the last three-loss team is the Cincinnati Bengals at 5-3. And then we
And you
go in.
got Seattle in there too.
I said Seattle. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Seattle are
Yeah.
5-3. And then you start looking at teams like Buffalo or well, that's the rest of the above 500 teams are. After the Bengals, you got the New Orleans Saints at 5-4, Vikings at 5-4, and the Buffalo Bills at 5-4. And then you have Houston, the LA Chargers, the Jets are all right at 500. And after that, you got the sub 500 teams, which is too many to call out right now. But I mean, everybody that's below 500,
No
I predict
shot.
there's no shocker there, right? Maybe for Tampa Bay. I thought Tampa Bay at this particular point would be better considering their schedule. But that's the only shocker that I see. Well, Tennessee as well. I thought Tennessee would be better in a better place, but obviously they got quarterback issues and stuff like that and receiver issues. But man, Detroit, Detroit Lions, man, 6-2. Now I knew they was gonna come out of their division, but dog, I didn't expect them to be like this here. Miami Dolphins is 6-3. They're definitely one of the teams that I say is right where they are, should be right where they are. San Francisco, I think, is right where they are. I just expect all the three losses to come all at one time. Um,
3 in a row.
right, exactly. The Cowboys, I mean, I predicted them to go 11-6, so I'm not shocked there. The only loss that shocked me was the
The
Arizona
Arizona.
loner, right? But I also had them losing to the Jets. And of course, that was before Aaron Rodgers went down. So they swapped wins and losses there. But they're right. Other than that, they lost every team I predicted them to lose to. Other than those. Bengals I thought would be further up. The Saints I thought would be further down. Minnesota I thought would be right where they are. Bills I definitely thought would be further up. And with rookie CJ Stroud, I did not expect Houston to be above 500 team. Man, speaking of Houston, oh my God, that kid, that
CJ Stroud.
that kid, man. I remember it's like watching Patrick Mahomes the first time out, right? It's like, I'm not gonna buy into the hype, right? I'm not gonna buy into the hype of Patrick Mahomes. But Patrick Mahomes started doing things that when I look at new players or rookies or whatever, I mean, I always say, oh, there's no film. People are not really, coming after them, what I'm saying? Especially in basketball, people are letting them shoot, dot, dot, dot. But then when Patrick Mahomes was doing, he was throwing the ball without looking and, 1 foot throwing and was hitting with clean accuracy. So I'm saying like, those are things that he made hard on himself. So that's when I knew you had one right here. Steph Curry, he's a 3-point master, but then starting to shoot from far, far back, to shoot and turn around and flip the ball up, with a real quick release and then it go in. See, that's different. And obviously both guys were able to sustain their level of energy. CJ Stroud, I don't see anything special as far as what he does as a quarterback other than just being completely accurate. But I mean, there's no different from any other quarterback out there. But man, the kid is a beast. And the kid is a beast. I mean, 400 and what, 70 yards his last outing.
5
5
TDs
TDs.
with the game on the line with 40 seconds left.
Um,
Got it
I,
done.
I mean, if you're talking about Aaron Rodgers in a 2-minute drill, yeah, he gonna get that. Tom Brady, 2-minute drill, yeah, he gonna get that. Ben Roethlisberger, 2-minute drill, yeah, he gonna get that. And need I go on any further than that? There's not too many people that we trust. Patrick Mahomes in that situation. Back in the day with Peyton Manning, you know what I'm saying? Those type of greats that can do it. Maybe even Lamar Jackson, you go for if I didn't say him already, can maybe get it done. But for a rookie, not a 2-minute drill. We're talking about 40 some odd seconds. You know what I'm saying? And the throws he threw were obviously busted up plays, but to have the gall to stand in the pocket and chunk that ball downfield and with accuracy because you can see guys just get in that situation, just throw the ball and he's either underthrown or overthrown. But to stand in the pocket and see his receiver with, with a step on his guy and to launch that joke with accuracy, I mean, that's big boy ball, man. That's big boy ball. I mean, my goodness. I ain't mad at him. I want to be mad at him, but I can't. I'll be doing nothing but hate if I got mad at him. Let's see here. So CJ Stroud, 470 yards, 5 touchdowns, no interception, only 3 sacks, no fumbles. Dak Prescott finished up second in the stat line for week 9. Look, Dak had a good game. I know he had some issues with not knowing where his big foot was. He should check and look on the ground if you're going to run, but he's not a runner. So that's things that running backs and receivers do, but he's a quarterback, but still, it ain't like he ain't been in this situation before where he had to tap-toe on the sideline. But I think he saw the green light. I think he saw the field. And it's just like me at my age running for a wide open layup, and the basket is too big for me to make. That making it says I've blown up several layups, wide open layups in my later days playing basketball. And then, the turnover and downs in the red zone. And then obviously the young tight end not getting in, costing that game. Joe Burrow finished number 3 in a win, 348 yards, 2 touchdowns, but he had 1 interception. Dak had 5 sacks that game, and 2 of them came in a crucial time. Sam Howell, man, Sam Howell. I want you to talk about Sam Howell, especially what he did to you guys last week. You don't want it. You still feeling it?
we always make him feel like an all-star pro, man. We always make him look good. I don't know what it is. He put up 31 points the first meeting we had. Second meeting, he put up the same amount of points, similar stats. He does it against our team, but you put him against other teams, he probably won't replicate it. But,
yeah. Well, he did it against New England with 325 yards. He threw only one touchdown, 1 INT, and 3 sacks in that game. But man, 325 yards in a win, 20 to 17 close game with New England. It's crazy. Tyler Heineke coming out, starting the. Matter of fact, was he watching his old quarterback?
Yeah,
last year he come out.
Starter.
Yeah, somebody's leaving a comment. Let's see what they're saying. Yo, what up, Lewis? What's going down, man? Thanks for tuning in, bro. So he came out with 268 yards. So I mean he's number 5, but it ain't like great status, right?
Those 5, there's still one quarterback that outperformed them all in my mind, and that's Lamar Jackson, man.
Boy, I thought you were gonna say Jalen Hurts. I was about to shut this whole podcast down. Lamar Jackson did have a quiet game, but he had a good game.
He was rushing all over that Seahawks defense, cutting them up. He made that defense look terrible, man.
And that's crazy because I wish they would do. And I know you have the running stats, the rush, or receiving stats. I think they need to make, especially for the quarterbacks, like a combined stats. So even with running backs, because sometimes running backs get in the rushing game. The passing game and stuff like that. So I wish they would have a combined stat category. But this is strictly for passing, and then you got the rushing leaders. Is Keaton Mitchell once again? For Baltimore, obviously. With 138 yards, along with Lamar Jackson running, they did their thing. Josh Jacobs came in, and the rest of these rushers all was sub 100 yards. So Josh Jacobs wins, Saquon Barkley lost, Jalen Warren, and Ramondre Stevenson. There's another guy, like I say, who was catching the ball a lot, using it in the receiving core, but wasn't getting no stats on the rushing game. So, but did he make me look good in fantasy? I thank you for Ramondre Stevenson, even though you took a loss to the Washington Commanders.
So we're halfway through the season.
Wait a minute. We got to go ahead and say it. The receiving leaders now, don't you? You tried to rush me on that.
No.
The receiving leader is who? I'm gonna let you say it. Come on, Philly fan. Go ahead and get it out your mouth. Who was the receiving leader of this week 9? You know the alphabet, right? You know the alphabet. Come on. A, B, C, D.
Unfortunately, someone we play.
almost 200 yards receiving, man. The kid was off the chain, man. I mean, Dak was feeding him, man. He had y'all barbecue chips, man, all over the field, man. Unfortunately, he was the only guy for the most part. 191 yards,
Oh,
man.
they have
That's crazy.
Ferguson out there too, so
Well, he came in at crucial times, got the touchdown and stuff like that. Noah Brown for Houston. Obviously, somebody had to eat for what CJ Stroud was doing. Amari Cooper for Cleveland, ex-Cowboy, 139 in their win. Dalton Schultz, ex-Cowboy. God dang, boy. I'm sorry. Ex-Cowboy for Houston also was a beneficial for CJ Stroud, 130 yards. I mean, that joker had two receivers, man, 153 for Noah Brown and then 138 for Dalton Schultz. My goodness. And Tank Dell. Tank Dell. Dude, you're getting it Dell. Also 114 yards for Houston. Man, his 447 yards, man, put them boys in the stat books. 3 goddamn receivers for Houston on this receiving leader list. CJ Stroud, man, salute my G. You did your goddamn thing. Now we finished that. Now go ahead and what you were saying about the
halfway through the season, what division do you think is the most interesting in football thus far?
Ooh, let me pull it up.
I know which I got my division I gotta keep an eye on, ready to go, man.
I mean, based on what I'm seeing right now, there's only one division that makes sense to me at this particular point. And most would agree that it's called the North.
The AFC North.
AFC North. I mean,
Which brings me to my next question. Do you think there will be 3 playoff teams off of that division?
yeah. If the NFC East was able to get 3 out of there last year, then the AFC North definitely would get 3 this year. It only makes sense at this point. Hopefully that Pittsburgh is number 2 in that division will make it to the playoff because their fans has been screaming saying, okay, although Mike Tomlin has had a winning record, but a lot of those winning records don't equate to making a playoff berth. So I hope he does finish up his season and get into the playoff berth, play in the playoff scenario. But these teams got to start playing each other again. So that's going to be rough.
I don't know. It's gonna be a thing of beauty. They're all gonna start playing each other after the halfway mark, and they all got winning records, man.
So I actually had the AFC East at the beginning of the season being the toughest division, one of the toughest. I had the AFC East and the NFC East being the 2 toughest divisions in football coming into the season. And I still think it's safe to say the AFC East is the second best team over in the AFC. I just thought the Buffalo would be number 1, and I didn't think it would be close. But Miami, still doing their thing. Buffalo just can't get out of their own way. The AFC South, I mean, I knew Jacksonville was going to be on top, but they are on top by far. I mean, 2-game lead over Houston. Kansas City, oh man, bless their heart in that division. I mean, the Chargers they're the only above 500 team in that division. So obviously, no need to even talk about the AFC East. I mean, the NFC East, Eagles and Cowboys run that division. Detroit Lions. I knew they was going to be atop of that division once again. I'd expect it to be this way right now. And there's no end in sight because those teams are just not good. The rest of them, Minnesota Vikings, Green Bay, Chicago. I mean, they have some good. It's good watching them play, do that thing. But speaking of Minnesota, my dude, I've been poking fun about Joshua Dobbs for a minute. I know he only won 1 game over in Arizona against our Cowboys, unfortunately. But I've been poking fun about him being, and even Lewis can test to him, about him being MVP of the season. And but I poke around at Joshua Dobbs because I see some goodness in him. I see some, I don't know, it's like there's something there, but I can't describe what it is, and Lewis is leaving a comment here. Joshua Dobbs is better than what he leads people to believe. The dude can play. Just give him absolutely. That's what I've been saying about Joshua and the way he willed them guys to victory. I'm talking about the turnovers he had in that game. He still willed them guys to victory. I was more than excited for what he was able to do for Minnesota. Is he going to be consistent with it? Only time will tell. We'll see what he does in the future. NFC South. I mean, there's no brainer there. They are what they need to be. Uh, I didn't actually expect Atlanta to be this good. I didn't. And you don't like their quarterback, and I'm not sold on their running back. Lewis, am I crazy for not being sold out on Bijan Robinson?
Well, I
I
mean,
don't.
Riddler got benched for
He got
turnovers.
bit.
Then you start a quarterback that turns the ball over as well. So it's
I
like
know, right?
you got two turnover machines. So what? Put in the younger person to learn from him. Just
Yeah.
put in Riddler.
I mean, I like Bijan's game, but I still think he next year it'll be his year. I just don't see it this year. I think he'll have a good. I think maybe one of these seasons, maybe one of these years, he may lead the league in rush because the dude got something, but I just didn't think it'll be this year. Uh, and then going down to the NFC West, San Francisco and the Seattle Seahawks are tied. No one saw that coming. If you tell me that you think that you saw Seattle Seahawks being tied with 49ers, somebody need to let me know because I'm tripping. Bijan Robinson will be good down the road. He will hit the rookie wall, but eventually, with experience, he'll be all right. Yep, my thoughts exactly on that. Thanks, Lou. Um, but man, who do you think?
Well,
No,
wait. Going back to the NFC West, can
yeah.
we welcome back a quarterback that got signed by the LA Rams to the NFL again?
Um,
He was an Eagle, and he was a Washington, and he went to another team as well. He went to the Colts. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I don't, but Lewis obviously do. Goddamn Carson Wentz. He's back in football again.
He got signed by the LA Rams to be their backup to Matthew Stafford.
I mean, did they ask his wife? What Meghan Markle gonna say about this? Prince Harry is back to playing football. My goodness. Oh my,
He's
I'm
a
sorry.
backup now.
Man, a backup. What a fall from grace to be a backup. Turnover king. Yeah, turnover man. Oh wow. I mean, yeah, that is crazy. They got Carson Wentz. Was he throwing papers or something like that? I think that's what he was doing, right? Dog walker, dog washer. I don't know what he's been doing since he's been playing. Man, that dude let me down on so many levels, man. Before we wrap up, man, real quick, I already know what you're gonna say, but I want you to really, really put on your what's the word? Your NFL expertise hat and don't go lazy on me in this conversation. Playoff predictions.
Are we talking about just general playoff teams or seeding as well?
Let's not do seeding. Halfway through the season, I mean, it's kind of hard to tell right now. But if you want to, I'm not going to do seedings. But who are the teams you think that you believe you guarantee will make the playoffs? That you can
NFC
guarantee that.
NFC side, I got all four division leaders at the moment: San Francisco, the Lions, the Eagles, and NFC South is still. I
So
don't
hold
know
up.
who's going to happen.
When you say all division leaders, so you're predicting that all division leaders are going to stay the same as of right now in week 9. So you're
Yes,
predicting that. Do
sir.
you think Miami's going to stay on top of the AFC East?
Well, I'm talking about the NFC right now.
Oh, I'm
I said
talking about.
NFC.
See, I
Well,
told you not to make this lazy conversation. Let's see what Lou
I'm
has
going
to
from
say. Kyler Murray is back on the active rosters. Okay, he's off. And it will be interesting to see how he plays the remainder of the season, considering that the Cardinals are thinking about QB from Southern California. Yeah, Lou. Before you got on, we was talking about the crime, man. Yeah,
we were
yeah.
talking about how the crying might have pushed him down to the second round or not. Yeah.
I don't think he'll push you to the second round, but man, that is, I mean, man, all the number ones or all the first round picks Arizona has picked from the quarterback situation, picking a quarterback for their first pick for several years. Will they pick a crying man? I don't. I'm just giving Caleb Williams a hard time, but I'm sorry, Lou, you had to hear that from me. But no, overall football. So,
Overall,
do you think the Dolphins will stay on the top of the AFC East?
yes, I do.
So you think Buffalo can't turn it around?
Buffalo will be a wild card team.
Okay, that's fair. Obviously, no need to say AFC. Yeah, Baltimore will be the top of that division. Jacksonville.
Jacksonville will stay on top. None of those teams have the capability to catch up to them, man.
Yep, obviously the same with the AFC West with Kansas City staying on top of that division. The Eagles.
It's
Do you think the Cowboys have a chance to get them out of this division?
well, the Cowboys have to rack up all the wins they can and hope the Eagles lose out. I mean, lose 2 of the next 6 games we got.
Yeah. So
But
I think I go ahead. I'm sorry.
the important thing here is Cowboys can't lose because you lose, you're gonna lose, man.
He said the Dolphins are 0-3 against winning teams, 6-0 against losing teams. I remember we talked about that the other day. Yeah. So with that being said, we have to take a real deep look into the Dolphins schedule to see how many above 500 teams they have remaining on the schedule, because according to the stat Lewis putting out there, they may fall out of that number one spot in the AFC East.
They still have a lot of the teams left in the NFC East to play, and we know what Washington and New York Giants are doing. So I feel Dolphins will stay up there, man.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, we'll see. Now, what's interesting, obviously, Detroit, do they stay at the top? I believe they stay at the top. Now, this is where it get interesting. The NFC South, New Orleans, will they stay at the top? I think that's going to be a dog fight for that division. That's going to be a dog. I think, with
That
Tampa
it's
Bay and
going
Atlanta.
it's going to come down to how Carolina performs in those divisional games, because the Carolina can turn it on in those divisional games. They might give some of these teams a shocker, and they might fall out due to the
And,
division record.
and look, and that's what I hope for. Because I hope that for the Carolina Panthers, that regardless of their record, when they come down to playing these teams, that they don't give up, because you're not going to get a number one spot. You're not going to go get a Caleb Williams or any other quarterbacks coming out of quarterback shuffle this year. You got the team to win. Jason needs to just fight hard. Just fight hard and just make it hard for those guys trying to get it in. Hold up. Before he said it, the Dolphins are 0-3 against winning teams. Oh, he already said. And then I'm sorry. I think the Saints will win the NFC East with barely. Yeah, it's gonna be a dogfight, Lou. And yes,
It's the NFC South, just to correct you.
what did I say? East?
No, he wrote NFC West. You said NFC.
Man, you know
Yeah.
what we mean. Don't you try to be correcting folks on this podcast, man. Come on, we old, man. We come on now.
Hey, all in good spirit, man.
I corrected them, Lou. Man, God, dog, we can't help ourselves, man. Dog, I was these
Yeah, I
young
know.
folks. I'm just messing with you. No, same way with the NFC West. I think it's going to be a dogfight. I think Seattle at this point is going to really, really give the 49ers a big run for their money. I mean, everybody had 49ers just like this bomb.com team, this cream of the crop team. I'm sitting back like, I don't know what y'all been seeing. I don't know what the rest of the world has been seeing. I've been saying it, but you said it best. You said it best last week that Brock Purdy is a system quarterback. And at this point, losing some key players, yeah,
there's a glitch in the system that he can't solve.
Yeah, I agree with that. Geno Smith, yeah, he's been squeaking out some games. He's been squeaking out some game, and there's some games I thought he was gonna cry on the sideline too, but he had some really, really, really meltdown moments of frustrating and stuff like that, trying to fight on the field. But he definitely needs to play better. And
Pete Carroll needs to be better as well.
Pete Carroll, he old.
He needs to be better. I mean,
how much he got about 15 more summers left. I don't know how much better he can get. I'm so sorry. Y'all don't counsel me for always shaming Pete Carroll, but I'm sorry. But no, I think it's up to really, like Lou said, for Geno Smith and that whole Seahawk organization to step up and do what they need to get done. He's not seeing DK. He haven't been watching DK here in the last couple of games. He had a big throw to DK on Sunday, but other than that, I mean, he's really, really. I mean, and I say that respectfully because my fantasy points have been suffering from DK. I'm sorry.
It's
But
almost
like
like they're using him as a decoy, kind of like the Cowboys are using Brandon Cooks.
you can't. How you gonna look? You can't cover Debo. I mean, you can't cover DK. He too goddamn big. He like me out there with a 4.3 speed. I mean, the dude is what 260 some odd pounds, and I'm just
Maybe
none
he
ain't
needs
nobody
to.
business, but I'm up there. So
Maybe he needs to take a page out of Devontae Adams and Jamar Chase book and say, "Hey, I'm always open. Throw me the ball."
maybe so, but that's gonna mean crying and stuff, and we've seen enough crying for this weekend. I'm sorry. So we've seen enough crying in football. Oh man. No, I the, is the Kansas City Chiefs guaranteed to win? Hold up. Speaking of Brandon Cooks, the Cowboys signed the former Steelers. Yes, thanks for bringing that up because we supposed to be bringing it up and we didn't bring it up. Wide receiver Montavious Bryant today, haven't played since 2018. Lou, what are they doing? Because I still thought we supposed to been running the ball this season. I'm still confused as far as what the Cowboys doing. I I don't know. I don't know. A dude who haven't played since 2018. You sign him to the practice squad with the hopes of him getting ready for the stretch. Um, Month of December, Cowboys got a tough schedule going into the month of December, and historically has always been one of the worst months to end the season. And they got a tough one coming up. I'm not going to say this is the month that's going to put them out of the playoffs, but they're going to have to do something to figure out their running back game. I mean, they should have done something better than going and get Montavious Bryant. I think Dallas is about to give up on Micah. Give up. Okay. That's a fair statement. Yeah, because he's not getting open. Don't even like he's trying to get open. They want to throw him the ball, but man, Dak can't even look his way because it's always that just messed up Dak timing when he look his way, he ain't open. So, but no, they still gonna have to do something about their running back game. I'm just the running backs are not going to get any bigger, and unfortunately, it's unlike Transformers. You can't combine them to one big running back. They're all still individuals. That would be nice if we can just put the little man. What's his name? The little bitty running back, the 5'11" guy.
5'11" guy.
Boy from Kansas State.
I don't remember, but yeah,
I can't think of his
but
name. You got Pollard, Dabo, and I can't think of his name. The little guy from Kansas State. I watched him play last year in the well, I forget his name. But anyway, you can't stack them on top of each other. Deuce Vaughn, thanks, Lou. Yeah, you can't stack them on top of each other to form one big running back. I don't know. I mean, look, Buffalo Bills went out and got old boy from Tampa Bay last year, Leonard Fournette. Maybe Cowboys should went and got him. I don't think Jerry wants to play that card, but they're gonna have to do something better. They're gonna have to get some strength and some speed. And they got speed, they just need strength. I don't know. Maybe they just sold on the passing game. I don't know. All I know is Mike McCartney lied to all of us about open up the running game. He lied. Maybe he didn't lie. That was intention, but he just didn't realize what he had. I don't know how. And Lou, I said this early on after last season. I said the guys they're going to trust at that particular time, I don't think any of those guys collectively averaged 100 yards. Obviously, Deuce because it wasn't because, and this was before Deuce Vaughn, this had the other guy. None of the guys they had other than, Pollard was obviously the backup for Zeke, but the other guys they had come behind Pollard collectively didn't average 100 yards for the season, the previous season. So I don't understand this running back core that they were going to throw behind. Of course, they get Deuce Vaughn out of the draft and a little bit of guy. I don't know. And I know I'm just throwing my little rant about the Cowboys and their running back game, but it's frustrating. And I'm not supposed to. And Lou, I told you I don't like talking about the Cowboys because I get emotional. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like talking about it. I'm just going to end that conversation. But no, Kansas City. I think Baltimore, like you said, I think Baltimore is going to fight Kansas City. I think there's some other teams in the AFC that's going to fight hard. Buffalo. I mean, if it come down to Kansas City and Buffalo again, we may see a different turnout. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say with Josh Allen and his antic losing games, but the guy seemed to step up in the playoff. And it depends on how the pieces. You can't cut out the Jaguars. Trevor
You
Lawrence. The
you
way he
can't.
shut down Justin Herbert last year in the playoffs. I mean, the guys win his division. I mean, man, he can be something for Patrick Mahomes. And the way they've been playing, ain't like they've been just blowing out teams. So, just like Lou said that Seattle need to play better, Kansas City as an organization need to play better as well. I'm sorry, Max. What you got? What you got?
Like talking about all these teams, do you think there's any hope for New York Jets to get into the mix?
Yeah.
There are a lot of people. Well, in the Pat McAfee show, Aaron Rodgers said he's real close to coming back. So
That's why I said, yeah.
it's
I
gonna
mean,
be. Is it gonna be
four and
too late
four.
for him? Is it gonna
No,
be too late? No.
4-4. Zach Wilson did what Zach Wilson was supposed to do. 4-4. He did what he's supposed to do. Hold it down until Aaron Rodgers get back. And whenever you get back, I mean, you just got to hold down the fort. And when Aaron Rodgers get back, hopefully he can be well enough to play. Obviously, you don't expect him to move around as much and try to put too much pressure because the Achilles injury, especially at that age, is no joke. But I mean, the dude he can still throw. So I'm not. But that would mean they would have to jump over Buffalo because I don't think they're going to be three guys coming out of that division. So if he gets in, somebody gets out, whether it be Miami or Buffalo, like I said, in that division, I don't think it's hard to do because it's something crazy, some mojo going over the AFC East. They struggle with each other. That's so weird to me.
They're always one possession games.
I mean, though that division is always the funnest to watch because you can have the goddamn Buffalo Bills have a 4-game lead on everybody in the division and come down and lose just like they did last year. So that's weird. I don't know. The only other division like that is NFC East. It's something about the East team, AFC and the NFC. They struggle with each other. But the Eagles, I think the Eagles, and I'm gonna say this respectfully to the rest of the NFC, I think the Eagles got a straight shot to the first round to the first round bye. I don't see any team in NFC that's going to challenge them record-wise to knock them off their number one spot. I just believe that wholeheartedly. Once they play that first game, I think that's where they're going to have their biggest battle. Whoever they play that first game, that's going to really test the heart of the Eagles playing that first game in the playoffs, and then it's going to be whether they're going to make or break the rest of the playoffs. But I don't see the Eagles winning the Super Bowl this year. I said it for the rest of the world out there. I said it.
That's cool. This is an opinion, man.
You see that? Go ahead and read it.
Out of that statement right there, the only question mark team in that statement will be the 49ers. I don't think the 49ers will really challenge us.
No. Think about what he just said. The 49ers just beefed up their defense by far. You guys have been struggling with putting up points on your offense. Your defense has been doing their thing, but your offense has been suspect. Man, listen.
Yes, but we're talking about Brock Purdy can't do much on offense. Against our defense, do you think Brock Purdy can actually perform?
Y'all defense gave up 31 points to the Washington Commanders. I'm sorry. Yes, 49ers, he can at least throw something.
Like I said, Jalen Hurts has lost 2 games in 2 years. One of them has been to Washington. Why? Because we always struggle with Washington. Plus, Washington is a divisional team. So there you go.
Jalen Hurts can protect his knees, they are going to man, yeah, he got them old granny knees out there. I don't know what's going on with Jalen Hurts. But no, I mean, hey, everybody agreed that the Eagles will definitely make the playoffs. We believe that the Eagles got a straight shot to the Super Bowl. Even I agree with that. But winning the Super Bowl, that's a different thing. Because you got too many dogs. The AFC is stacked. And they're going to be playing each other in the playoffs. And you're talking about having to play those hard games. I mean, you're talking about the moment the playoff starts, the AFC is going to be a dogfight versus the NFC. Like I say, like Lou said, there's only the 49ers and the Cowboys. that's pretty much going to do anything as far as, I mean, you may throw Detroit up in there if you want to, whatever, but, Detroit might end up turning around beating themselves. But, I mean, the AFC is stacked. It's stacked. They're going
Yeah,
to be
but
well prepared for that Super Bowl. And that's the exact same thing that happened last year. I mean, look
like
at the road Patrick Mahomes had to get there. I mean, it went nowhere near who's going to lose that Super Bowl. He would have to fight to come off that field.
well, like I said, the next 6 weeks is gonna say a lot about my team because we got Buffalo and the Chiefs and the 49ers, three teams we mentioned right now that could be in the mix. So we'll see what happens, man.
And guess what? Since I am the FairWeather fan, I ain't afraid to change my mind. So I will flip on you in a heartbeat. I'm sorry. When it comes down to this podcast, man, I am not a man of my word. Only when it comes down to promising the people what I promised them. But other than that, I will flip it on you in a heartbeat. But right now, my statement is staying true. But yo, Max, you got any final words for the people before we close out?
Super Bowl prediction: Eagles and Ravens, man.
Woo! Then left Kansas City out of it. I ain't mad at you. I ain't got no rebuttal for that. Hey, y'all, but tune in. Actually, tomorrow, I'm going to make an attempt to talk about the NBA. I have left the NBA out specifically for today's podcast, but tomorrow we're going to give my energy. I'm doing a special show for NBA because I got my boy G joining me again about NBA, and we're going to be actually talking about the power forward position. You know what I'm saying? This power forward versus that power forward. We're going to go back to back. We're talking about old versus new, or new versus new, or old versus old. It's going to be a little rundown, like picking two power forwards. Like, out of this guy and that guy, who would you choose? Man, join us tomorrow if you can. We probably get around about 7:15, 7:30. We'll jump on and we'll go at it. And then we'll give us some more NBA stats as far as, what we think about the in-season tournament and stuff like that. We'll do that. But man, it's been great. It's been fun. Join us next Tuesday if you can't tomorrow. Join us next Tuesday for the FairWeather Fan. Oh, sorry. Join us Thursday for halftime show. I do want to say this before I close out. Not on Facebook, because y'all, there's two layers to what I do as a FairWeather Fan. I have the FairWeather Fan podcast that I do live on YouTube, as well as on Facebook and Twitter and stuff like that. But I also have the FairWeather Fan YouTube channel. And I throw videos out there about my opinions about stuff that's going on. So if you guys who are watching this channel, if you made it to the end of this video, please go over to YouTube and check out some other content that I've created. That's not necessarily this podcast you're going to enjoy. And the latest video I'll be dropping probably tomorrow, if not tomorrow, definitely Thursday. I finally gave my opinion about the I Am Athlete versus the Pivot. If you don't know those two platforms, the I Am Athlete platform was the platform started by Brandon Marshall along with Channing Crowder and Fred Taylor. The podcast took off. It sparked a lot of people's interest in starting their own podcast, as well as myself. And then we see the separation happen. And now it seems like there has been over the years this back and forth with Brandon Marshall and then Fred and Channing teamed up with Ryan Clark to start the Pivot. So I kind of finally gave my opinion about it. I've been staying away from it for this long because I didn't want to endorse the mess that's been behind it. But I kind of finally gave my opinion. I used my best wisdom and I possibly can. But salute out to Cam Newton, who finally had a conversation with Brandon Marshall that sparked my interest. And I think what Cam Newton was able to say, watch my video when I posted, but definitely prior to watching my video, please go watch Funky Friday with Cam Newton and Brandon Marshall. It sheds a lot on the situation. And I think Cam Newton is a hero in my book in this media space as far as trying to deaden the squabbles between fellow podcasters and fellow black men in this media age era. But other than that, man, please, like I say, check out the YouTube channel, watch my content on there. Join us on Thursday for the halftime show. Join us tomorrow when we talk about the NBA, and then meet us back here next Tuesday, same bat time on 6:00 or 6:00 ish, I guess, to cover week 10. All right, Max, you got any final word? I think you already said that, right?
Check out the Williams video if you haven't already.
Yeah, if you want to see a man crying with his mama holding him like a child, please go check out the crying video by Caleb Williams. I'm so sorry. But no, I'm not. I don't care. This your boy EC22, man. Thanks for watching, man. And we are out. One time.